Whitman's Minimalist run of Leisure Suit Larry 1 in the Land of the Lounge Lizards. Though I don't normally do commentaries, it's been requested that I do these commentaries, so I aim to please. And if you don't want to hear a commentary, by all means, watch the original video without commentary at all. Now, as you can see, going the minimalist way is not the fastest way of doing things. You have to go down to the casino in order to gamble, instead of just entering into the bar and doing everything you need just to reach this first point at the bar. And by the way, if I sound a little awkward, please understand this is my first commentary, so I don't really know what I'm doing. So we've made it to the casino. It doesn't actually gain or lose you points, depending on which form of gambling you choose to do. I just chose blackjack because it's the faster way to go, and it's easier to figure out if you're going to win or lose. As you can see here, I've already obtained 21. Now, I don't actually gamble, but I have read a few books and learned a few things about how you gamble and win at blackjack. Now, from what I've learned, gaining around 16 is what you're really looking for. More often than not, about 8 times out of 10, the dealer will bust if you have 16 and the dealer tries to beat it. As it goes, the dealer must always try to get higher than what you have. Tying what you have does not actually win the dealer anything, and it does not lose you anything either. I actually decided to get the card now instead of waiting till later, simply because I am also trying to do this without having to waste a lot of time showing you different paths and having to go from one point to another. Personally, I would not have purchased that apple. Not only is $1 for a single apple outrageous, I would be worried on where exactly is he keeping that apple. So we finally return to the bar. Now, in order to do this in the minimalist way, you actually have to know what to do. So doing this in the first run of the game is pretty much impossible without cheating. I think it would have been more appropriate if he told you you have to pay to go up these stairs rather than you have no business going up those stairs. As I'm sure a number of you would complain, I don't actually do anything with this prostitute. I think they deliberately made her look as ugly as you possibly could. No, I only come up here just to get a box of candies. Why the store wouldn't just sell you a box of candies, I don't know. But this is a $100 box of chocolates. always wondered, why is there a rose just lying there on the table? Especially when you have to purchase a box of chocolates for $100. Again, you actually have to know that the ring is there in order to get it without looking for it, which will gain you points. Yeah, we now go off to the disco. What era is this game actually based on? I always hated the way that bouncers really change their demeanor once they see that you're a member of the club. This has got to be the one time that Larry is actually polite. May I join you? Actually, I hate this song, Staying Alive. When I was in high school, I took a video productions class, and this happened to be the theme song they were using for our Mr. Sultan pageant that we were having. And I had to hear the song over 50 times per day. Well, at least they didn't seem to be big on premarital sex at this point in time. And actually, she mentions honeymoon. As you may or may not know, honeymoon actually comes from a period in time when a man and a woman would get married. They were given mead, which was essentially distilled honey made into an alcoholic beverage. They were given enough mead for full moon to full moon, hence the term honeymoon. Actually, I always saw this game as having more stereotype humor than sexual humor. Either way, I still get a little offended by this. I am a sensitive kind of guy. I always hated that dog. And we return to the casino once more. The only places that we no longer have to return to at this point in time are the Quickie Mart and the disco. And we're back for some more gambling. The same comments apply here as they applied before. Yes, you do actually have to do something about the breath. There are characters who will not actually do anything with you unless you do something about your breath. Essentially, it's the women of the game that won't talk to you unless you use the spray. Well, at last we've finished gambling. Although this is one of the longer cutscenes in the game, I actually found this wedding to be much shorter than the other weddings that I've been to in my life. Other weddings that I've been to in my life would literally last several hours at a time. I kid you not. I actually found this joke to be semi-amusing. Now, why exactly Larry has to make sure that the door is locked when someone's in the room, I don't know. Is he really that afraid that someone else is going to come in and use his wife? I now realize that I was wrong when I said you do not have to return to the wiki art. There is this one situation that I had forgotten, which, as you can also see, this could only have been done if you've played through the game before or are cheating. Otherwise, how on earth would you possibly know who to call in order to get the wine? And not waiting to hear what the radio tells you how to get the wine will lose you 1 point. Another bit of trivia is that Ajax was the best friend of the Grecian hero Achilles during the Trojan War. You weren't actually supposed to see when I saved these games. Now, right here, you can tell that Larry is not using his head at all. Of course, a lot of people have complained about this particular scene being censored. You do have to remember that this was made during a time when it was illegal to show this kind of thing, even on television. I'm sure that a lot of you who used to watch I Dream of Jeannie would note that she had to wear a plug because it was actually not allowed to be shown a person's belly button on TV without it having an X rating. In truth, you may actually have ended up causing Fawn to lose money, considering that they never say how much that wine cost. And thankfully, this is the last time that I end up having to gamble. That is actually the most annoying part of this game. Now, finally, we reach the end of the traveling around. All we have to do is go back to Lefty's bar, and then we return to the hotel. Yes, I did make a mistake here for getting to get the hammer first. And this is, of course, why we ended up spending $200 just to enter into this room twice. In fact, if you consider that you had to spend $100 to rent the room, $100 to get married, and $100 just to get up here in the first place to get the chocolates, that's $300 that you spent on a small piece of rope. And all of that was just to get some pills. Although, on a side note, some of these pills do cost $300 and even more so. Especially if you don't have insurance. It doesn't know what tax is. And just an interesting note is that doing the ways to lose videos on these games, I discovered that even if you do have sex with a prostitute, Larry will still kill himself at the beginning of the morning. Even though he is not a virgin anymore, he still claims that he is one and kills himself as a result of it. This is more of the reason why the game had received a rated R rating, more for the drug humor. As I'm sure most of us know, if you really were to down an entire bottle of Spanish Fly, or virtually any other kind of pill for that matter, it would be fatal. Not fun. Once again, you are capable of leaving certain points just by not entering into that room. Also want to note, even if you do decide to play around with that doll, you still are considered a virgin at the end of the game, if you do not finish this the way that is shown here. The only real clue that you're supposed to give her an apple is the fact that her name is Eve. Of course, one of the problems that I had with this particular part of the game is that Larry is still a married man. Kind of, sort of. It really does depend on how you look at things. Legally speaking, he's not married. But if you look at it in the religious way, he is married. But I suppose all of that is just a matter of opinion, so it doesn't really count. Now, even though that Larry claims that he's trying to satisfy other parts of his body, essentially his heart, I don't exactly see how his heart was satisfied if he doesn't even know this woman. This is actually the only time when we learn what Larry's true profession is. This doesn't change no matter what score you get. It will always tell you played okay, I guess. And with that, this is the commentary on the minimalist run of Leisure Suit Larry 1, Lounge of the Lizards, Old.